I've been writing a book. Hey folks, it's Abby, and today I thought I would give you guys a little bit of an update on how my writing is going. So a long time ago I mentioned that I was doing NaNoWriMo, probably. I've been working on this story for a long time. I am attempting to write a book. So this notebook here was gifted to me by my wonderful partner's mother, who I adore within an inch of my life. And in here I've written all of my notes and everything like that for this book. I've been working on this for so long that I have things from 2019 in here. These are things that I've stuck in when I was working in retail and we would just be sat at a desk doing nothing because of the kind of specific job that it was. So I would sit there and write out stuff on receipt paper, till paper. So I would write through that. So I have that there. I've got plans on like how to write some more like tips and tricks. I've kind of blocked out different scenes and that's all in here. This is the actual novel. So you can see it's split into different bindings. So this is what I've done my first pass of edits on. This one here is just clipped in because I'm doing the first pass for that one. Then we have the next section of the bits that I haven't done the first pass on. And then this biggest section here is basically where I was really struggling with the fact that I was trying to get the ideas down, but writing it out actually as a story was taking me too long. I ended up just writing it in a big long paragraph. So there's no dialogue, no specific action. It's just, this is what I want to occur in this chapter. And that's why it's in italics, to kind of like say like, you need to work on this. And that's why this is separate, because this needs work. So those are kind of the three sections of my book. In terms of what the book is about, so I sent Caitlin a message on the 16th of the 4th, 2020. So the 16th of April. And that is the best description I've ever done of what I'm attempting to do with this book, so I'm going to read that out to you. So it's a dystopian where lots of natural disasters have happened and we're following a girl who has vague memories of how it was before, but she was too young for much else. I'm still in the very beginning, but I have plans for sci-fi Earth manipulation with a side of corporate corruption and greed. To add to that, she's travelling along with an older family friend, a man who is looking after her and has been because she was so young when everything occurred. And again, to kind of add some more into it, essentially there's a big corporation and they are going to be manipulating the natural disasters of the earth, so they are creating and causing earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, everything. And it's going to be essentially learning about the world, learning about the company, learning that the company's fucked it up, and seeing how we fix it. Is essentially what I'm writing. I don't see a lot of books that kind of deal with natural disasters all that often, probably because unless you do go down the sci-fi route of having them being manipulated where they can't actually be. If you're writing something in history, you need to be really sensitive of what's happened, because of course if it's an actual eruption where people died, for example, for a volcano, you need to be sensitive with that. And then in the future, I don't know why no one's done it. Maybe it's just because I'm the only one who's interested, because it's me. If you don't know, this is what I was studying at university. I did my master's thesis on a very specific niche section of a volcano. I am very bad at writing, very bad. It's going to take me a long time. I've been working on this for years. It doesn't help that I have very long gaps in between working on it, as in months and months, where I just don't touch it at all. I don't think about it, I don't touch it, so that is not helping the years that it's taking me to get through this. I am hoping that once I'm settled in my new place that I can kind of have this become a little bit more routine, just trying to get through it and make a first draft that I'm happy with beta readers, or alpha readers I suppose, reading. So I know that technically this is the first draft, but this isn't readable, just purely because, like, literally this, you need to develop these scenes so much further. Character development, build the friendships, come on dude. I need it to be an actual readable, even if poorly written draft before I can get anyone else to read it and to give me feedback. So that is what I am working upon. This is also kind of accountability. When I was thinking like, oh, what can I film for Vito? What can I do? I was like, oh yeah, like mention the book that you've not touched in months. So I'm very much working on this in dribs and drabs and bits and pieces, and I want to actually just get on with it. I do watch quite a few AuthorTubers and CreatorTubers. My main three, as always. My fave is Shay with the Hobbies, Cachet. Mwah. I recently, as of filming, did a little kind of, I guess, beta read overview of a short horror story that she's written, and it's so good. So good. Then I also love watching Becca C. Smith. She has released so many books, self-published, so many books. YA, fantasy, sci-fi, like check her out. And then also, probably the biggest one of the three is Kay Kavanagh. She was the first one that I found the other two through her, and I adore her videos so much. She doesn't have anything published that we know about as of yet. I think she has published some things that she's not told her channel about because she doesn't want them to be influenced just yet by her audience. So there's nothing yet there that's been published, but she does talk a lot about different writing styles and techniques and stuff. So I love those three. I recommend you check them out. They will of course be linked down below. Let me know if you've ever written a book. I will say as well, just to give her a bit of a plug, that Caitlin from Mad Cheshire Rabbit wrote a book. I'm gonna go get it. Wait. Hello. Samuel Noack by Caitlin J. Bolton. So this is Mad Cheshire Rabbit Caitlin on BookTube. She will be linked down below as well. This is a historical fiction set around the time of the Great War. It's essentially an early 20th century gothic romance-esque book. It very much has the same sort of vibes as Frankenstein. That won't make any sense unless you've read Frankenstein. I don't mean big green monster with electricity, I mean the kind of discussions of humanity and the development of an individual. Very, very good. Really enjoyed it. So please pick that up. I will leave the Amazon link as well down below for Caitlin's book, because definitely not enough people have read this. It's so good. It's such a good book. I know that I don't read that much historical fiction, but it also is a genre that I do delve into, and I'm so glad I read this. It definitely has the feel of a classic. So good. So yes, I know that Caitlin, that's why I mentioned this, because Caitlin has published, self-published, a book. I know that, but have any of you guys written anything? Any short stories, any poetry, or any novels? Any novels? Oh yeah, just a novel. Let me know down below, and if it's published anywhere, whether that's just online, or if you self-published it, or if it's been through an actual publishing house, please do let me know, because I want to read it. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please do hit like and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. It is usually more about reading books than writing them. This does not get mentioned all that often. And down below as well, I always have my links for my Bookstagram, my book Twitter, and my Goodreads, and my book blog. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!